Hello. 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 Happy Thursday.
Oh, yes. So happy to come back and get in my shoe.
Hang out for a minute and let people come on in. Thursday. Today I am tuning in with you from Costa Rica. Hello, everyone. We got some friends in the room as well. You know, hear them along their own travel journeys. I'm currently staying in a hostel, and so I love being able to travel and bring myself into spaces like hostels because it's such a fun and beautiful place to meet new people, to opt into new experiences, to expand yourself into the world. And if you follow me, you probably know that that is a theme of mine, is helping you expand yourself in the life that you desire. Expand yourself in a way that feels really good for you. Help you move past limiting beliefs, help you move past boundaries, help you break through plateaus. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Let me know where in the world you are tuning in from as you hop on in here. And so the reason why we do these is so that I do these, is so that you can break through some of those plateaus, so that you can move into the next level of your healing, so that you can move into the next level of your growth. And I always aim to walk my walk and talk my talk and lead as an example. And what a better way to do that than tuning in with you today from Costa Rica and giving you a little look into what's happening in my world right now. And allowing you to see yourself more deeply through seeing me, right? I always come back to intimacy. Into me I see. Hello, John. Hello, Mo. Welcome, you guys. I love seeing familiar faces in my weekly lives here. Thank you for joining. Happy to have you back. Would love to know, before I dive into my world, would love to know if there's anything coming up for you in your world this week. If there's any questions that you have, this is an Ask Me Anything. So this is a space where you can come and you can bring anything that's on your heart, anything that's on your mind, anything you're working through in your physical body. If you have any questions about your health, your healing, biohacking, relationships, communication, like anything that's happening in your world right now, this is a space for you to ask those questions and for you to gain free support so that you can work through those challenges, so that you can move through those plateaus, so that you can expand yourself in the world around you in a way that feels really freaking good for you. So, as you're hopping in, just drop in where in the world you're tuning in from so that we can say hello. More intersection with manifestation. John, you are going to become the manifestation king over here. Always happy to talk about manifestation. And let's see, how can I pull manifestation in with what is happening in my world? So again, I'm in Costa Rica. It was not a super long planning process, which tends to be the case with many of my soul journeys that I go on and the more extended travel experiences that I have. And, I sent out an email earlier today. If you didn't get it, reach out to me, send me a DM, let me know that you got the email. But I sent out this really awesome email all about how I am reflecting on my world right now and reflecting on the place where I am, reflecting on my ability to travel with my work, to support other people in the world with my work, to also simultaneously play and build my business. And it wasn't always like that. Like, for a long time in my life, I was feeling really helpless. I was feeling really hopeless. I was feeling really challenged by all the things in my world. And I was like, I want this thing and I don't have this thing. And I feel like it kind of sucks that I don't have it. And so as I've moved through this process, there's two really important things that I have continued to opt into, that I've continued to keep in mind. Two things that I continue to keep in mind as I moved through this journey where I was feeling really frustrated and helpless and hopeless. And the first one is hope. And it's really important to be able to continue keeping that hope within you alive, to continue connecting to your future, continue connecting with the vision of your life that you have, the feelings that you want to feel, the experiences that you desire. And as you can continue connecting with those, you can continue to light that fire of hope within you. And I've been reading this book that it is, oh my goodness, what's the title of the book that I'm reading? Man's Search for Meaning. And this book is by this man named Frankl, and he writes about his experiences surviving concentration camps through the Holocaust. And one of the things that he was saying in this book that I was reading today is how he witnessed people, when they lost hope, they often lost their lives. And when they were unable to hold on to this idea of the future, a bigger purpose, a bigger mission, a bigger goal. Yes, Viktor Frankl. Words today. I'm running on very short amounts of sleep, but we're here. We're here. Okay, so Viktor Frankl is talking about his experiences in the Holocaust camps. And he was talking about how when people lost hope, he witnessed them die and wither away. And when they lost the ability to stay connected to a future possibility, that they started to lose resiliency. And as I thought about my journey and getting to where I am right now and today, where I'm literally living my dream life, where I'm traveling, supporting my clients, and getting to explore the world, getting to travel, getting to see beautiful places, it brought me back to how often along this journey I connected to my mission, I connected to my dream, I connected to those ways I wanted to feel, I connected to the things that I wanted and desired, even if I didn't have them at the time. I kept thinking about them, I kept envisioning them, I kept imagining how they feel in my body, right? Again, like these are like some of the foundations of manifestation. So tune in, John. And the other thing that I did along this journey for me, the second thing that I did, was reach out and ask for support or follow and witness people that were a couple of steps ahead of me, people that had already done the thing that I wanted to have in my life, people that were already experiencing these things that I deeply desired, right? And so between these two things, the hope, right, being able to connect with the future, future cast, right, look at the things and feel into the things that you want in your life, and find people to portray to you and to witness who have already done the thing, who already are experiencing it, or who have already walked that path and maybe are just a couple of steps ahead of you. And so these two things specifically are two things that have been really helpful for me as I've gone from this place of feeling helpless, feeling hopeless, feeling frustrated, feeling challenged with the things happening in my world, my relationships, my business, myself, my life, like all the things in my world, to where I am now, talking to you from Costa Rica, literally being able to travel, being able to work, being able to support my clients, being able to build my business, and being able to opt into the things that light my soul on fire, that bring me so much happiness, that bring me so much joy. And when we're moving through different phases of our world, when we're deep in the healing process, when we are recognizing that maybe you're in a place right now that you don't want to be for a whole lot longer. You want something different. Maybe you know the thing that you do want in your life. Hello, everyone. Welcome. If you're tuning in, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. I would love to know where you are in the world. Again, welcome from Costa Rica. So if you're in a place right now where maybe you're like, there's this thing that I want, I don't have it right now, and I want to get there, but I'm not there yet, and I don't really want to be where I am right now for a whole lot longer, keeping these two things in mind as you shift and step forwards along your journey, right? The hope, the vision casting, the future casting, and finding people and hiring support and asking for help or even just like I joked around in my email, like even just like social media creeping on somebody that like has the life that you want to live, right? So you can see it, you can witness it, you can literally see that it's possible. And those two things are what I bring into my work with my clients as we help them navigate the journey forwards, as we help them, as I should say it, help them with connecting and creating the life that they desire to live. And part of what goes into all of this is going to be awareness. Like awareness is so key in everything. If you follow me, you know that I talk about this all the time. But it was just like a really beautiful moment today as I'm reading this book by Viktor Frankl and like connecting with the resiliency, connecting with the hope, connecting with the future casting, connecting with the possibilities that exist for you, and also reading his own personal experiences in concentration camps around what happens when people let go of that, when people no longer have that. And so that's one of the reasons why I share so much about my world, why I share so much about my journey, my path, so that you can actually see through me, again, back to the intimacy thing, into me I see, right? You can actually see through me what is within you. You can actually see through me what is possible for you in your world, what is possible for you to create, where you can go, what you can do. Possibilities are literally endless, and you have all of the opportunity in the world to create what it is that you want, to create what it is that feels good for you. If you guys are hopping in here, welcome. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. This is an Ask Me Anything. So every week I come live on here to hold space for you, to offer you free mentorship, free coaching on anything and everything, holistic health, wellness, mindset, limiting beliefs, trauma healing, manifestation, talking a little bit about that now. Anything that comes up for you, functional movement, chronic pain. This is a place for you to bring all the things that are happening in your world into this space. And I'm here to support you with that. We do this every Thursday at 12 Mountain Standard Time. And while I'm here in Costa Rica, I'm on Central Time. So I guess technically that's one Central Time. But yes, I would love, oh, I'm just getting to Costa Rica, girl. I'll be here in Costa Rica for 6 more weeks. So you guys will be getting a good amount of me and the medicine from Costa Rica. I'm excited to bring that to you, excited to bring that to my clients. But yeah, as you're coming in here, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. And I'm here to support you and offer insights. If you'd like to come on in, I would love to chat with you. Feel free to add yourself into the live. I see some familiar faces. We got a couple of new people. Yeah, feel free to... Oh, look who it is. Yeah, if you guys want to invite yourself into the live, I'd love to chat with you. Feel free to do so. And one of the most beautiful things about that is like as you share what's coming up in your world, as you ask for questions, somebody else is watching this that also is likely moving through similar things and could really use that support. So we've got Joel wants to come on in here. Let's have our friend Joel back in here. There he is. Joel.
Hello, how are you?
What's up, friend? How are you?
Gotta get the sound okay. It's a little loud, but it could work.
Am I loud or are you loud?
Maybe go indoors. Hi. Yeah, well, I saw you were going live, and then I tried to get in action. So, how's the morning?
Welcome.
For you?
Thanks. Good. I've had a long evening of travel, but I have landed in Costa Rica.
Wow.
And I'll be here for about... Someone said
Are you in the
San Jose at the moment, and
nice?
then I'll be traveling around Costa Rica. I'll be in Uvita, and then I'll be in Nosara, and maybe a couple places in between. We'll see.
Nice. And have you visited before? Is it your first
Yeah,
time there?
it's my first time in Costa Rica.
Wow. Well, all the best. I was there this last May.
Oh, no way.
And do you know much Spanish?
I do.
There
A little bit.
you go. That'll
Haven't used
help.
it in a minute.
Yeah, but it's nice. Do you have like yoga planned or just travel? I guess exploring around different places that are going to be there.
Yeah, a couple of different things. There'll definitely be some yoga in my world. I'm actually at the end of my journey. I'm doing a 200-hour YTT and a somatic leadership immersion. So
Wow,
looking forward to that. But yeah, just going to be at a festival. I'm going to be with some friends and
super cool.
making some music and yeah,
Wow.
just all the things that help your soul heal and grow.
Yeah, and the nervous system, the singing and
Mm-hmm.
dancing. I got my dog
Like
here
it,
with me. This is
yeah, I'm just
Rachel.
saying, talk about nervous system love.
Yeah, trying to get some rest in the morning,
Mm.
trying to settle
What
the
what's been happening for you in your world this week? What themes are coming up for you?
well, I guess trying to I guess obviously in the practice of trying to slow things down and not rush through and trying to take a step back to get an idea from like another just having to see yourself in your own eyes on the way that you're being the things you're doing and then what's happening and how that's kind of like it overlaps but it's kind of just like it's a bit of a process of they call it what is it? We have to harmonize the energies. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's a few things of kind of what you do and then kind of what happens if it's for you or to you is kind of how you are able to I guess make happen what you hope to have or what you wish to create sort of thing if it's even just in your day to day like I think it'd be great for myself like it's even or a lot of people like you want to do the traveling and you want to get there but I just need to I guess do the things for getting the solid foundation down or just being able to get to have some more of those experiences that might require some of the more mundane tasks, but sometimes that has to take some energy as well.
Yeah. Yeah, being able to balance those two things, right? Like there's it's so important to find harmony in the doing and the being, and I definitely was like tested with that myself in my preparation for this trip, like leaving my house for 6 weeks. And it's like, okay, not only do I have to make sure that my house is settled and tidy, but my things are packed, that all the things are set and prepped for business, for my clients, right? There's so many things to think about, and it's like we are human, and sometimes like that's not an option. Like those are things that we have to do, and that's where it's also super important to like find that harmony, like you said, with the things that you get to do, that you want to do, that bring peace to your nervous system, that bring happiness to your life, that bring a sense of calm, right? Like the things that drop you back into that flow state, the things that like fill your soul, right, with joy. Um,
Absolutely,
and we
and
live in,
I'm just grateful for sure. You continue.
yeah, just that we live in a society where we're taught, the patriarchy really teaches us to do so much, right? Like we have this very masculine approach to human doing, really, and we forget to be. And that being is something that we all have within us, is that like feminine energetics, right? The feminine energy where you get to nurture yourself, you get to be with yourself, you get to slow down, you get to calm down. And that's, as you and I have talked about, like that's where you get to heal. And I think having things come up in your world where you realize you're actually in this like really hardcore doing mode allows you to then like reharmonize and sit back and say, oh, okay, I'm doing a lot here, and doing a lot actually doesn't support me in finding that harmony. So how can I do the things that need to get done and still be and find calm in the ways that ground me while I'm doing the things that need to get done?
Absolutely, and well said, and thank you for putting it like that, and sort of kind of agreeing with some of the struggles that I have. Of it's like, yeah, I totally know that there's things that I need to do, but then it's also that I still have to keep on doing what I need to do while maintaining my own sense of being and trying to do the things that keep me grounded. And like today I'm wondering if I'll get out for a walk into the trail, into to nature, or if it'll turn to a bike ride and I'll get some more time outside,
Hmm.
since the natural light is what I'm an advocate for. But yeah, trying to piece it together.
Sounds like you have an idea of some of the things that could be supportive for you today and that could bring some of that ease and some of that peace and some of that harmony to the human experience.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that it's like our experience happens again each day and each morning when we wake up. And then we can kind of try our best to set our intentions of how we want to be as well as what we want to do, and that they can be like the heads and the tails. It doesn't just have to be the doing. Like, we can also take some time to just be. And I've been practicing some more breathwork practices. Another one that I've been doing is the 6-6 count, where it's just like almost called the coherent state, and you're going to be just inhaling for about 5.5-6 seconds and exhaling for about 5.5-6 seconds.
With no pause at the end or at the beginning.
Not
Yeah,
necessarily.
the cyclic.
It can be just like a slow up and down, almost like feeling like a bit of a circle.
Mm-hmm.
And just doing that, I found a 20-minute recording on Spotify, and it's been like pretty helpful in like coming back from like an activity or like a shift at work, and then having to ground down again. And so it's doing something like that. And then I'm also pretty happy to be able to hop onto your call, onto the live, and to have another um, being that I can connect with.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Connection is the center of all the things in my world. So I'm so happy to connect with you. Yeah, just it made me think like so one of the things that I do with my clients when they come to work with me is finding that harmony, right? Finding that harmony in, okay, how do I accomplish all the things that need to get done and still support myself, regulate my nervous system, like work on my relationship to me, work on my relationship to the people in my life, right? And it's like finding that harmony is going to take a check-in really every single day. Like, where are you at? What do you need today, right? Where is your body? Where's your nervous system? Where's your mind? And what tools do you have in your toolbox that you can help and that you can pull from? And one of the things that I like to do and invite my clients into is keeping this like daily like wins list where it's easy to just like keep track of all the things that you accomplished, right? Like you want to celebrate because celebrating yourself helps you continue to do the thing and move forward along the journey. But looking at your wins list and saying, okay, like what did if we're thinking about the masculine energy and all the doing, right? All the things that you can accomplish. What are those like tasks and structural things that maybe you've done throughout the day, that maybe you've accomplished throughout the day? And then on the other end of that, what are the things that you've actually been able to be with, right? What are the ways that you've been able to support yourself and more of that feminine energetic? So like you said, maybe that's going outside and getting sunshine. Maybe that's riding your bike. Maybe that's taking a walk with your dog. Maybe that's dancing. Maybe that's singing. Like these forms of self-regulation, self-expression, these forms of self-care. Again, even just like sitting and getting sunshine in your eyeballs in the morning or the evening. We've talked about that, right? And like being able to create this list on a regular daily basis that allows you to see what are the ways that I'm doing and what are the ways that I'm being, and how can I find more harmony between both of these things.
yeah, well, thank you for your insights, and I think those are good, really good questions, and things that I can try to apply more to my day of looking at the wins and looking at those at the small things of that they kind of keep to maintain the balance of the ways that we want to be for ourselves, and I also liked how you mentioned self-regulation, and also self-care, self-expression as well. Of if it's trying to, if it's doing a little bit of some ways you can move your body, if it's dance or if it's yoga that I enjoy getting to, and then if you can use your voice in however way, like even just something like humming can sort of help nitric oxide production, or just widen blood vessels, and it things good things happen. So yeah, it's I sometimes have to try and get back to my journal for even just a few minutes, and do a little bit of an inventory, and take stock. But it's even in the small ways, if we can try and, I don't know, maybe if I need to have a sticky note in my pocket with some of these prompts or ideas of what were some things that I did well and what were some things that I'm working on, when I think sometimes we get caught up in I didn't get to this, this was a little bit rushed,
All the
or
things that you didn't do instead of all the things that you actually did.
yeah, and so I still got out for my walk between 10 and 15 minutes before 10 o'clock, and to get in some light and some movement, and then I got in a nourishing breakfast, and then tried to take some time. I think it's just as important. Sometimes I forget to sit down and breathe a little bit before, and then a little bit after, to kind of just let everything settle as we're gonna be uh, nourishing our body for that morning time, and then trying to, if it's doing a minute or so of journaling after or later than that, but even just having some way to sit down and find calm again.
And then being able to check in with yourself throughout the day too. It's like, where am I at? Right? Like those self check-ins. Where am I at? What do I need? Yeah. Nourishing, Kristen says. She's a word nerd. Yeah,
Yeah,
nourishing is like one of the biggest aspects of feminine, right? And I don't mean feminine in regards to gender. I mean feminine in regards to energetics. Like the feminine is what nourishes everything. Like the feminine nourishes the human population of the world, right? The feminine is what allows you to drop into self-care and self-regulation practices, right? That nourishing of self is what allows you to fuel that vitality, and what allows you to continue putting that energy in your cup so that you can actually do and accomplish those things that is more of that like masculine energetics, right? The doing, right? The facilitating. Um, and we see in our world so much burnout these days because people aren't nourishing themselves, and they're trying to do so much. And there's so much in that masculine, energetic state of being, or I should say, state of doing, and not so much in that feminine nourishing. And you need to have that harmony between the two of them to be able to, like, to move forward in alignment in the world around you in a grounded space with ease, with clarity, with consistency, with focus. Like you've got to be able to nourish yourself into the doing, and then ease out of the doing into nourishing, and be able to find that harmony between the two of them.
yeah, yeah, definitely, and all good points, where it's like, even after, during, and through conversations I can have like this, when I'm fortunate enough to do so, that I have to try and do a little bit of a recheck in, like, okay, what are some things that I want to stick, and that we really want to emphasize on it, just as much accepting, well, the both sides, the masculine and the feminine sides of all of us, that we have, that we can do to nurture ourselves, and that by accepting and allowing, and just being able to accept, and uh, yeah accept that we have the two energies of however they may be perceived, of light and dark, or positive, negative, of masculine, feminine, and really it's the way that it applies to us, and that sometimes it's when I'll want to look to even astrology on how we can get more of an insight into ourselves and in the different qualities we have within us, and how we're all so unique, but we try and still take an approach that has just maybe worked for some people, but it's not that it's going to work for everyone, and that we're all our individual selves just trying to, we have to show up for ourselves as we must wish to show up in the world, or to be seen, or to be understood or acknowledged, or however those desires want to come to light.
Absolutely. If you're not showing up for yourself, it's going to be really hard to have the energy to show up for others. Can't pour from an empty cup.
That's the first thing we have to do is take care of ourselves first, and then we can have a full cup to then have some overflowing or left over to support others in the way we can.
Yeah. And that's where that self-regulation and self-education and self-support really come in, so that you can do that, so that you can show up for you, so that you can nourish yourself.
For sure. And I just, yeah, if anyone else out there is listening to, it's try and, it's as simple as it seems, but it's try and do the things that you enjoy. And when it's tough to, you gotta try and bring a smile to your own face sometimes. After, if it's doing an exercise that you don't mind, or if it gives you those endorphins, or if it's spending time with your friends in a positive manner, and able to connect with like-minded people like this, and then remember to get that sunlight all the way in your eyes too. Always helps.
Always helps. Amazing. Well, I hope that what are you feeling you're going to lean into today? You said you were thinking about biking, you were thinking about a walk.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I mean, I could get on my bike and pedal for a little while and see where I can end up, and see where I can enjoy, or I might, yeah, I think that might be a nice option, since it's kind of one of those things where I walk just to get outside most of the time, and so then if I can get in something like a little cycle, that's it's not a bad way to spend part of the day.
Certainly not. No, I love it. Well, I hope that you have a wonderful bike ride and enjoy being outside and getting some sunshine, some more sunshine on your skin and in your eyeballs.
Appreciate it, and you enjoy your trip, and safe travels, and happy memories or highlights now.
Yeah, it will be wonderful. I'm happy to be here.
For sure. All right. Take care.
All right, we'll talk soon.
For sure.
Bye, Joel.
Bye.
Kristen says, let's keep in mind most people are not doing the work we're doing on ourselves. They need our gentle love. Yeah, and through love, we get to experience greater levels of connection. We get to experience deeper levels of transformation, right? Like, if you don't love all parts of yourself, you can't integrate all parts of yourself. And so I love that. And beautiful, beautiful point that you made there. And Kristen says, nice to meet you, Joel. Yeah, thank you, Joel, for hopping in here and for adding your value. I always appreciate that. Yeah, like I'd say, kind of back to Kristen, like your comment, right? Like that self-love is first and foremost one of the most important things to be able to navigate your healing journey. Because like I mentioned, again, it's like if you aren't loving all parts of yourself, you can't integrate all parts of yourself. And to be able to integrate all parts of yourself is to be able to dive deeper into your healing, to dive deeper into change, to dive deeper into transformation, because otherwise you're just going to be ignoring those parts and not integrating them. And when we ignore them and when we don't integrate them, it's leaving these open wounds, leaving these voids that we often then try to fill with external situations, external validation, through other people, often in relationships. I see that very commonly in my clients, is they'll seek out things in relationship that they're not giving to themselves. And so being able to have the awareness around this and being able to work with these wounds and work with these voids and start to integrate these parts of yourself that maybe are lacking or maybe not being nourished or maybe are feeling unfulfilled, right? Not worthy. Kristen asked, do you think feelings get in the way of simply just being? Well, our feelings are ultimately what drive everything in the world, right? Our feelings drive our behaviors and our actions. And so I think that that's more a matter of your awareness around, is something getting in the way of you being, right? Because if you're having these certain feelings that are preventing you from nourishing yourself, right, from being able to be with yourself, from being able to support yourself in the ways that you need, then if those are getting in the way and preventing you from doing that, then yeah, those feelings might be getting in the way. Lack of sleep in my words today, I can feel it. And so, when a feeling comes up, being mindful and aware of what is it leading you to do, right? What are the actions? What are the habits? What are the things that it's leading you towards? And is that in alignment with the way you want to go? Because if it's not, then you get to recognize, okay, where is the place that you want to go? What is the thing that you want to feel? What is the thing that you want to experience? And what is the root feeling that's leading you in a different direction? So I think that's important to think about. Just interesting. Kristen, do you want to hop in here and chat a little bit more about that? Let's see, I'm going to invite you in here. No. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think just like being mindful of what's one, the feeling that you're having, what is number two, like what is that feeling leading you to do, right? What action or behavior is that feeling leading you to? And three, is that behavior or action what you are seeking, what you are calling forth, what feels aligned with you and your path and your journey. Thank you for clarifying that, Kristen. So yeah, thinking about these things as you're starting to look at what are the activities, the habits, the behaviors that you're engaging in, and are they supporting you in where you want to go? Because if they're not, then you get to look at the roots of what's driving those things and opt into a shift or a change if you desire to. And that's always your choice. I always come back to that. So I'd say thinking about that and how those feelings may or may not be preventing you from actually nourishing yourself and supporting yourself in the ways that you need to fill your cup back up. I think that's really important. And like the majority of us really aren't taught how to do that. I mean, even when I was primarily working as a body worker and in the pain management world, like we aren't taught how to take care of ourselves, right? And so I also see a lot of frustration often when people don't have the tools to support themselves and they come down really hard on themselves. And then I get to remind them, it's like, you weren't taught how to do this. You get to learn how to do this now so that you can take back your power, so that you can feel empowered, so that you can feel like you have the ability to better support yourself. But just remember, like, you weren't taught how to do that. You know, we're often taught to give our power to other people. We're not taught how to harness that. We're not taught how to support ourselves in the ways physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically that actually allow us to live a life full of vitality, that allow us to live a life pain-free, that allow us to create the relationships that we want and desire in our life, that allow us to build the business that allows us to be free, to live the life that we want, to do the things that we want. Right? And so as you move through your journey, like having compassion for yourself and being easy and soft and loving with yourself, recognizing that it doesn't so much matter what happened in the past, right? Like sometimes it does. Yes, we want to look at what happened in the past, but we want to look at what feeling that elicited within you that's leading you to continue to carry this pattern forwards. So I think that's a key point to remember here. Kristen. Hello. Hello.
Hey,
How are you?
got there safe, man. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. How's your day going?
It's going smooth. I just left the hospice unit. I volunteer there every Thursday. Very humbling. And I'm driving, and there's a cemetery, and I'm like, let me stop and take advantage since you're here because your time is so valuable in my eyes. Yes.
I appreciate you. I'm glad that you're here. What's coming up for you in your world this week?
So okay, this is my thought that I want to get out. So the last time I spoke with you, we had talked about I was having trouble with eating, like a healthy relationship with eating. And you had just said something, the past really doesn't matter. So I'm coming to you with a question on that. When I was a child, I just put 2 and 2 together yesterday in my kitchen. My father used to force me to eat. So he knew that his child ate and he didn't have to worry. So that was selfishly something that he was doing, right? And my question to you, with the knowledge that you have, do you think subconsciously that's why I'm struggling to feed myself?
Do you think subconsciously that's why you're having a difficult time nourishing yourself?
Yeah. Like, what is the power of our subconscious? Is it really that powerful? Because I didn't remember this,
Well,
you know?
that's the thing with the unconscious, right? Is like the majority of it you don't remember, but that's where the body keeps the score. You're right. Your mind and your body remember everything that you experienced in the past. And so not a sense that like the past does matter, right? However, your past is not your present, your past is not your future. And so what we get to look at is like the threads that weave in between the past, the present, and the future. And when you can start to identify and become aware of those patterns, it can start to help you recognize like where feelings or emotions might be influencing your actions or your behaviors, where some of the things you might have learned from your father in the past might have led you to what you're experiencing now in regards to your actions and your behaviors and your patterns. And so, you know, what is it that you learned from your father?
The first thing that comes to mind is like how not to take care. Like he never took care of himself. He always just got by, and he was constantly drinking throughout the day, and still to this day he does. Yeah.
So I'm hearing that you did not see optimal nourishment
There was
practices from your father.
Yeah, I love this word, by the way.
Is there anyone in your life that you feel portrays to you or that you see optimally nourishing themselves?
Yeah.
Name some of those people.
Well, I'm a health coach, so some of the people that I work with, Danielle Stewart, her husband, Naeem Turner, Drew, yeah. There's some people that I look up to in the company that I follow on Instagram.
And so it sounds like you admire and you see in them this beautiful ability to nourish the body. Yes. Do you feel that you are worthy of that form of nourishment.
Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful. So one of the things that I would invite you to look at and to be with is like, what did you learn from your father? And is there any particular reason why you feel like you're treating yourself the way that your father maybe treated himself? So that's one. Like, and what I mean by this is oftentimes we like punish ourselves in certain ways, even if it's unconscious. Oftentimes we'll like do things like that to punish ourselves for some reason. And there's a reason why I asked you if you feel that you are worthy of that nourishment, because the fact that you believe and that you know you're worthy of that nourishment, right, allows you to become more conscious of changing this pattern.
Okay.
And these people that you're telling me about, that you see constantly nourishing themselves and their body, how can you be more present with that energy, right? So what can you do to see them on your social media feed more often? What can you do to talk to them more often? How can you bring your energy closer to them so that you're putting yourself in that energetic field of somebody who is deeply nourishing themselves, so that you can start to build, again, I always come back to this intimacy. Intimacy, I see through the eyes of another, you come to more deeply see yourself.
Okay.
And so by surrounding yourself and talking and engaging more with these people that are doing the things that you're ready to step into, that you're deeply desiring, that you want in your life, that will make an energetic impact and an influence on you.
Okay. And then, like, the worthiness, I'm just stepping into that, just stepping into that, the worthiness. And then another thing I just wanted to run by you, because I know you're experienced on the pain. Have you ever heard of someone like Sister? And I'm very, 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 like, I really have been spending time throughout my day to be like, how are you feeling, Kristen? How does your body feel? Comfortable sitting in this position? How are you getting in the car? Like, very mindful of just, and this is all new for me. And I'm dealing with a pain in my spine. Now, when I tell you, it's incredible. It's migrating, it's moving, it's when something is disturbing me that's happening wherever I'm at, whatever it may be, I'll pop and I'll crack, and the universe will be like, that's not aligned, like, and it's almost like I have an obsession with the pain, and I need to tell myself I need to let it go. I think, like, it's still here. So obviously there's still something I need to learn, right? Do you believe that?
So there's many things with pain, but something that's coming up for me within these circumstances here